Hello everyone, welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today is February 22nd, and we're going to be talking some more DFS draft picks, both on FanDuel and Draft Kings for today's slate. But before we get started, we're going to go over the picks that we did make yesterday. On the Draft Kings side, we went with Darius Garland, $5,400, looking for 27 fantasy points out of him. Put 42.75 up, definitely a massive hit there. Definitely a guy that I did like a lot going into yesterday. Then we had Evan Fournier, $6,300, 47.75 points. He was a hit as well. We're only looking for about 32 out of him or so, but he was definitely a massive hit. I'm going to keep playing him essentially until they get some more guys back or his price goes out too much. I believe it's back-to-back 40-point games now for him. Jaden McDaniels, $3,700. Looking for, 18, 19 fantasy points out of him. Had been playing 30 minutes per game recently. That didn't happen yesterday. Only ended up with 7 points, so he was definitely a miss. Chetty Osman, $5,500. Looking for about 27.5 points out of him. Got to 25. That was a miss, but it was pretty close, so he probably didn't burn you too bad if you did end up playing him. Mason Plumlee, this is the one that kind of hurt a little bit. $7,000, looking for 35 fantasy points out of him. Thought he'd be more involved in a usage perspective, assist perspective. 26.75 points is what he ended up getting. Didn't play quite as many minutes as I thought he would yesterday either, so that was a miss as well. So kind of hit or miss day for DraftKings. We hit the two big ones, but then the rest were kind of misses. On the FanDuel side, we had DJ Augustine, $3,900, looking for about 19, 20 fantasy points out of him. Got to 16.7, so it was a miss, but it was probably not a miss that killed you overall. Then on the opposite side of that game, we had Tyrese Halliburton, and $5,400, looking for 27 fantasy points out of him. He got 49. That's a massive hit. And if his value isn't over 6,000 or it's just around 6,000 for the next game, I think we're just going to keep on playing him. Then we have Kawhi Leonard, $9,800, looking for 49 fantasy points out of him. I said he gets over 50. Got just over 50 at 50.1, so he was a hit there. Then at the power forward position, we had JaVale McGee. $3,600, pretty popular play on the slate overall. Looking for about 18 fantasy points out of him. He got 5.4. He barely played any minutes in this game. Jared Allen had a monster day, so that didn't help him out at all. And then we had Nikolai Vucevic for a center, $9,700. Looking for, about 49 fantasy points out of him. He ended up getting 63.9, so that was a massive hit there. So pretty good overall day on the FanDuel side, minus that JaVale McGee pick. But with that being said, we're going to get moved over to the injuries for today, is talking about the ones that are new or notable. For the Chicago Bulls, they are exactly the same as they've been in recent days. Then for the Rockets, Victor Oladipo is doubtful. DeMarcus Cousins is questionable right now with a heel injury. If you guys haven't been paying attention to the news, him and the Rockets are going to part ways at some point in the near future, probably after Christian Wood comes back. So there's a chance DeMarcus Cousins doesn't play in this game. They signed Justin Patton to a two-way contract, but Justin Patton's not good. But DeMarcus Cousins, if he doesn't play, Patton could end up getting, 18 minutes or so in this game. Could be an option there, but they're probably going to go small ball. PJ Tucker's going to get 30 minutes in this game, probably play some center. Jayshawn Tate might play some center as well. So those guys get a little bit of a boost today overall. Then for the Grizzlies, the only one we still have out is Dylan Brooks, besides Jackson and Tilly, who've been out all year. Then for Dallas, completely healthy. Portland Trailblazers, same guys out as the last time. The Suns are completely healthy once again. The Heat is the next one that we really need to look at. Pretty much the same as they've been, except Tyler Hero is now questionable. He got injured in the last game left. We'll see if he ends up playing. If he doesn't end up playing, you'll probably see a little bit more Duncan Robinson from the starter unit. And then coming off the bench, you're probably going to see a little bit more of Gabe Vincent or Max Strus. So if Tyler Hero's not out there, one of those two guys could be cheap dart throw. Not sure which one of those guys it's going to end up being, but they both definitely could have value if they get the minutes. Then for Oklahoma City, same guys out as before. The only other thing is we're expecting Al Horford to be out, resting on the back-to-back. So Isaiah Roby's probably going to get the start at center, so he's definitely in play today. Then for the Hornets, Caleb Martin's still out. Devontae Graham's not expected to play, so pretty much the same as the last game. Jazz are finally all the way healthy. Wizards still have Ish Smith out. And then the Lakers, pretty much the same that we were looking at last time. Anthony Davis out, Dennis Schroeder out. Morris, Kuzma, and LeBron James, all game-time decisions, all likely to play. But with that being said, we're going to get over to DraftKings, talk about our picks over there for today. So at the point guard position, we got John Wall, $8,000, looking for about 40 fantasy points out of him. He's averaging about 37 on the season. He's been playing more minutes recently. Good matchup for him against the Bulls. He's going to need to score the ball. The Bulls haven't been great at stopping guards this year overall. So actually, the Bulls haven't been great at stopping anyone, but that's a whole other story. I think he definitely can get you to 40 points. I think he definitely has upside for more as well. Then on the opposite side of that game, we're going to go with Garrett Temple. And essentially, as long as he's not $5,000 or more, as long as he's playing 30 minutes a game, I'm going to keep playing him. Sounds bad, but it's a pretty simple method for me, honestly. And, you're looking for about 24 fantasy points out of him. I think he gets 24, 25. Early on in the day where there's not a lot of value, definitely a guy you can go to there. Then another guy in that same game, Sterling Brown. $4,100, looking for about 20, 21 fantasy points out of him. He's been about as consistent as they come in terms of minutes. Been playing 25, 26, and 28 minutes like the last 6 games out. Definitely a chance for more minutes today if DeMarcus Cousins doesn't play. So he's a guy that I like. I think he can get you 20 points pretty easily. Early on in the day, like Garrett Temple, where there's not a lot of value out there, definitely a guy you can go to. Then at power forward, we got Royce O'Neal, and he's $4,500. Been priced down a little bit recently. Looking for about 22, 23 fantasy points out of him. That's about what he's averaging. Plays big minutes. He goes against the Charlotte Hornets today. Not a tough matchup overall, but they are a more athletic team, so I think he's going to be out there more times than not. Should be a pretty good matchup for him overall. Then last but not least, another member of the Utah Jazz in that same game, Rudy Gobert. $7,400. Really only looking for about 37 fantasy points out of him to pay off. He's averaging 39 on the season. And it's Rudy Gobert. He could have a big day, especially going against Cody Zeller, who he should be able to bully around a little bit in this game. Get some blocks, get some rebounds. Definitely has that big upside in this one for a very, very fair price. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 guys that I have listed here, you'll have $21,200 left over. Just over $7,000 per player. So definitely some ability to spend up for a guy like LeBron James, Damian Lillard, Luka Doncic, and then kind of fill out the rest of your roster from there. But with that being said, we're going to move over to the FanDuel side. At point guard, once again, we got John Wall. On FanDuel, you need him to get a couple more points. Probably about 42, 43 points to pay off. I think he can definitely get you that. I think he can get you probably 45, maybe even 50 in this game. And like I said, it's just too good a matchup not to play. Eric Gordon over here, $5,300. You're only looking for about 26, 27 fantasy points out of him. That's about what he's averaging. If you got no Victor Oladipo, possibly no DeMarcus Cousins in this game, Eric Gordon playing big minutes, goes against the poor Bulls defense, pace-up matchup. It's not going to get much better than him for $5,300 at that shooting guard position. Then we're going to move over to LeBron James at small forward. He is $10,400, looking for about 52 fantasy points out of him, averaging about 48 points per game on the year, playing big minutes, goes against Washington, pace-up spot there. I don't think they have anybody that can really stop him, so I think it's just a matchup that's too good, one that you definitely need to play. I think he's going to be kind of chalky today. If he ends up being chalky, I don't mind if you kind of pivot down to like a Jimmy Butler just to kind of be different in GPPs. But if you're playing in cash games, LeBron James, Eric Gordon on FanDuel side, those are 2 guys that are probably going to be your 2 first guys in your lineup tonight. Then we move over to power forward. I got Isaiah Roby, probably going to be starting at center position today for Al Horford. Looking for about 23 fantasy points out of him. I think he gets to 25 pretty easily, gives you a little bit upside for more. Pretty safe play, pretty good value over on DraftKings. Then at the center position, we have Enes Kanter. Once again, he's a guy, around that $7,000 price tag, definitely has a chance to pay off. Goes against the Phoenix Suns tonight. I don't think DeAndre Ayton's really going to slow him down too much in this game. Should be a pretty good matchup for him. Should be able to get some boards, get some points, and really pay off once again. Only looking for about 35 fantasy points out of him. He showed us that 40-point upside the last time out. I think he definitely has a chance to do it once again. But with that being said, these are my picks for FanDuel for today. If you go with these 5 guys, you have $24,300 left over, just over $6,000 per player. Definitely some room to pay up for some guys and pay down for some guys. Mix and match, and just try to find the lineup that best works for you. But with that being said, these are my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, February 22nd. And as always, if you guys have any questions at all regarding NBA DFS for today, please leave them down in the comments. Definitely here to help you guys out as much as I can. And then once again, as always, I'm going to be listing all the news that comes out through the day down in the comments, as well as the starting lineups for each team as they come out. But with that being said, if you guys are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. It really helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, and that's really one for you, the viewers, helping you guys with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you guys with your fantasy football, talking all the football news this offseason. And then as we move forward into baseball season, we're going to be talking some fantasy baseball and some baseball news as well. But with that being said, if you are a new or current subscriber is yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time that I put up a new video. And with that being said, I'm going to be doing NBA DFS videos every single day. And then working on some bold prediction recaps for fantasy football that will be out this week as well. Doing a lot of scouting for the NFL draft. So once I'm done with my scouting, I'll share some of my results with you guys, the guys that I like, guys that may be kind of slept on. But with that being said, that's all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed. Hopefully you guys do very well in DFS tonight. I think it's a pretty good slate overall. There's going to be a lot of value that probably opens up later. So once again, just make sure you're following that news. Make sure you're following me down in the comments below where I'm posting that news as well to help you guys out as much as I can. But once again, thank you guys for watching today's video. I really do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. And I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.